quotients today, so let's start with something like 237 divided by 6. And we worked on two methods yesterday, one of them being rounding, and the other one, because we're going to do this two ways, is using compatible numbers. Alright, so let's look at it by rounding first. So, what do you think? We're going to take 237, we're going to round it. And since it's in the hundreds, let's go to the highest place value and round there. So this is either going to round to 200 or it's going to round to 300. So what are you thinking? 237, where does it lie? Well, halfway between 200 and 300 is 250. So where would 237 go? And you can hear my little baby Britta in the background. She's trying to answer the question too. But 237 is closer to 200. So I'm going to round that to 200. Now try and pause this video to figure things out on your own. And then press play after you do each step to see if you're doing it right. So let's just say I keep the 6 the same and I don't do anything with it. And I don't round it. Would this be nice to work with? So do I see a math fact in here with my highlighting eyes? Well, I see a 6. And then if I go over here, I'm looking at 20. So is there 6 times a whole number that gives me 20? 6, 12, 18, 24, no. So I don't like the 6, so I'm going to round that too. So I have to think about what I'm going to round it to. So this is in the ones. So I'm not going to say, well, is it closer to 0 or closer to 10? I don't like 0. I'm not going to divide by nothing. So I'm going to step it up to 5. So let's say, is it closer to 5 or is it closer to 10? So 6 is closer to 5. So I'm going to take 6 and change it so it's friendlier, compatible. And I'm going to round that also. So now I have the 5 with the 20, and that is a multiplication fact. So 5 times what gives me 20? Or off to the side, you're doing 20, and you're splitting it into 5 equal groups. How much is each one of those groups going to be? Let's go out and try a number. See if you can get it. Alright, so 4 times 5 is 20, but I need to get 200, so I'm going to attach a 0. So now I can say that my quotient, 237 divided by 6, is approximately 40 by using rounding. Alright, let's go ahead and try to estimate it using compatible numbers. Alright, so 237 divided by 6. Right now, this is not friendly to me because I see a 6. I'm looking for multiples of 6 over here. And I see 23. And 23 is not a multiple of 6. And how do I know that? Because if I list the multiples of 6. So go ahead and start listing them out. Again, pause the video if you need to. I'm going to keep going because I'm getting close to 23. And I want to go until I get over. Okay, now I'm over, so I'm going to stop. I don't need to list any more multiples. And now I'm saying, which one is it closest to? Well, 23 is closest to 24. So I'm going to take that 23 and I'm going to change it to a 24 to make it friendly with the 6, to make it compatible with the 6. And then the 7's like, well, what about me, guys? Well, you're just going to become a 0, so you're easier to work with. And now I have something super nice, which is actually, as you can see, not exactly the same as over here. This is another way, it's another method. And sometimes you don't end up with the exact same estimate, but it should be around what we got over here. So let's see, 240 divided by 6, I see my math fact. So now I'm trying to think about 24 split into 6 equal groups and what number that's going to be. So you go ahead and try some numbers. Let's say you try 5. Well, 5 wouldn't be good because this does not end in a 5. or 0, but let's just see what we get. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 is too much. So I need to try something less than 5. Okay, that's what you do, trial and error, if you're not sure of that fact. So it actually is 4. So 4 times 6 gives me 24, and I need that 0, so I'm going to attach that 0. And what do you know, in this case, it actually turned out the same. So my quotient is approximately 40. Okay, we're going to try another one. So let's go with how about 429 divided by 9? And let's do rounding first. Okay, what are we going to do? We're going to look over here. We're going to round it. Between what? We're going to look in the hundreds. It's either 400 or 500. Halfway is 450. Where's that 429? Is it over the halfway mark? No, it exists over here. So it's closer to 400. Now remember, I could try and keep that 9 the same and see if it works out. I have my 9, and do I have some sort of multiplication fact over here? A multiple of 9. 9, 18, 27, 36, 45. No, I don't. So I don't like it, so I'm going to change it. So remember last time, this is in the 1, so I could go 0 to 10, but I said I don't like using 0. So let's say I change that to 5. Now I'm thinking 9. Closer to 5 or 10? It's closer to 10. So I'm going to take 400 and divide it by 10. Alright, now I'm trying to see a math fact here. And I see 2 different ones you could pick. So let's say I use this whole number 10. And where 10 times something to give me something over here. I need a multiple of 10. Well, 4 is not a multiple of 10. Is 40 a multiple of 10? Yes. So 40 divided by 10 is 4. And then I have 4 times 10 is 40. And attach how many zeros? 1. Hey, weird. We got the same quotient estimation as our last one. Approximately 40. Okay, there's one other method that we're working out, and that is using compatible numbers. Okay, so we're going to look at what we're working with. We're working with 9s. And I'm trying to see if I have a multiple of 9 there. So let's list out the multiples of 9. Again, pause the video if you need to try and figure this out on your own. What's the next multiple of 9? Do you know these off the top of your head? If you notice, I start with 9, 0, 9, 1, 8, 2, 7, 3, 6, 4, 5. Look at this. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. What's going to come next? 5, something, 6, something, 7, something, blah, 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 right? I really don't need to keep going because I've already got my stuff. But I wanted you to see this pattern. Look at this in the ones. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Isn't that cool with the 9s? Plus, what's really cool with the 9s? The digits add up to 9. 0 and 9 is 9. 1 and 8 is 9. 2 and 7 is 9. 3 and 6 is 9. 4 plus 5 is 9. 5 plus 4 is 9. Oh, how weird is that? So cool. 9s are so cool. Okay, anyway. My first 2 digits are 42. I'm trying to find something that is close to 42. So where could I have really stopped? Right here. I don't need these because those are way over, and I'm already over right here. So now it's a question of what is it closest to. And I'm saying 45. So I'm going to take that 42 and change it to 45. And remember the 9s yelling at you saying, hello, don't forget me. And you're like, I haven't. I'm changing you. And now I have a problem that is easier, friendlier, has compatible numbers to work with. So I have 9 and 45, which are compatible. that 45 is a multiple of 9. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 times 9 is 45. And I have a 0 that I need to add on. Alright, so I just want you to notice something. These are different this time. And over here we took the 429 and we rounded it down. And we took the 9 and rounded it up just a little bit. So this might be considered an underestimate. Whereas this case, I took the 429 and rounded it up. So in this case, this might be considered an overestimate. So we should get something if we actually get an answer, the actual answer when we actually do the long division later on. It should be somewhere in between these two numbers. Pretty cool. Okay, shall we try one more? You're saying, yes, yes, Miss Everett, do one more. Okay, I will. All right, and you're doing it too. So let's take 378 divided by 8. And let's first do what? Round. So try it out, people. Try it. Work it. See if you can figure this out. Go, go, go. Pause the video. But don't do too many steps before you check yourself with the video. So maybe do a step and then press play to see if you're doing things right. All right, I'm going to take this and I'm going to round it. Is it going 300 or 400? Remembering that halfway is 350. 378 exists over here. It's over halfway, so I'm going to round it up. I'm going to leave the 8 alone and see if I see some compatible numbers to work with. If not, I'm going to round the 8 also. So is 40 a multiple of 8? It is. 8 times 5 is 40. And then I need to attach a 0. So there's my approximation rounding. And now let's see what we get. In this case, is this an over and underestimate? Well, we took this and rounded it up. It went up. So this and this stayed the same. So this is an over estimate because we rounded it up. Whereas over here, 378 divided by 8, I'm going to take it and I'm going to use compatible numbers this time. Alright, let's look at this 8. We need to make something over here compatible with it. So do we already have something to work with? Let's check the multiples of 8. Start listing them. I'm going to keep going because I'm getting close to this. And I'm going to stop because I went over. And now I'm saying, is it closer to which one? In this case, I'm saying 40. So I'm going to take 37, change it to 40. And the 8's like, hello, and you're like, hi, you're becoming 0. And look at what we have, same thing as last time. So I have approximately 50. Now, you don't need to do this because you haven't learned this yet, but I'm just going to check and see what the actual answer is. And so you can just watch this. Alright, so I got something. The actual answer was about 47 with 2 remaining. And look at, we got an overestimate here of 50. And look at our actual answer. It is very close to our estimate, which was considered an overestimate. Alright, good job you guys. The only way to get better at this is to practice. So thanks for practicing with me today.